Hi everyone, my name's Gabby Starbuck. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're enjoying this vlog, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can see more vlogs like this. So the vlog that I'm going to do for you today is a follow-up to the IVF video that I did a couple of weeks ago. So this one is all about my 2-week wait symptoms. So the reason that I wanted to bring this video to you is because when I was going through my IVF and I had the 2-week wait between egg collection and the pregnancy test, I felt like I spent my whole time Googling symptoms so that I could get some sort of sign as to whether it was working or whether it wasn't working. I watch loads of different people's vlogs, but everybody's journey is completely different and everybody gets completely different symptoms. So I just wanted to share with you my symptoms just so you could see the difference. Obviously, it's nice that we're putting these videos out there, but it's important for you to know too that just because someone's getting them symptoms that you might have similar ones doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be the right symptoms that you're going to have. So with me, I went through 2 IVF procedures. One of those procedures being the first one that didn't work and the second one did. I want to share with you the differences of the symptoms that I had or the feelings and signs that I had on my build up to my pregnancy test. So you can see the difference in what I felt when it was a positive and what I felt when it was a negative. Although, might I just say, this is an insight for you, yes, but my symptoms may not be exactly the same as everybody else's. So please just bear that in mind when you're watching this video, but do take note, and hopefully if you are going through IVF procedures or a 2-week wait from conceiving naturally, then hopefully you'll take a bit of comfort with this video. And it also gives people a bit of insight for people that don't know much about IVF in general. They might be just interested in it and wanting to know a little bit more, or they might be interested, want to know a little bit more, or maybe just looking into it and wanting to see how things go. Obviously, if you watched my last vlog that I did, you'll see that it was not an easy ride. The IVF procedure has been really, really tough. You have to be like quite strong if you're going through something like that. I found that it was an eye-opener, that's for sure. So anyway, I'm going to start with my 2-week wait. So day 1, I'm going to go from day 1 to day 14, your 2 weeks. And day 1 is actually from the day the eggs were taken. That's usually when they start counting your 2 weeks from. So from egg collection up until the test, and you do your test on day 14. I'm looking back on my notes. So if you see me looking down, it's because I had to make note on how I was feeling. If I hadn't have been successful, I probably wouldn't be doing this vlog right now, because it would be a little bit too painful. But I thought to myself, you know, I'll write these down because if I do get some success, then I will do this video. So this video has been planned, really. So anyway, the first IVF procedure that I had, day 1, egg collection, that was it. So had my egg collection. At this point, you know, your embryo's not back inside you, so I don't really think that for the first 2 or 3 days you could really talk about how your body sort of felt, because we're going really from when the embryo gets transferred. So eggs got collected. I wasn't in pain or anything after my egg collection. I felt fine and I didn't have any bleeding or anything. I was put to sleep for it, but what I did feel was a little bit fragile, and I don't know why. I think it was like a mind over matter, because my body felt fine, but I was just sort of walking around a bit alien, a little bit like that, because I knew what had happened, but my body did feel okay. I didn't really feel like anything had happened at all. So obviously day 2 was just a bit of anticipation as to whether we had created any embryos. They did say to us that because only 2 had fertilized, they recommended that at this stage, because I only had 2 to pick from, they recommended putting 2 back in and having them put back on a day 3, the sooner the better, because the embryos will grow better in their natural habitat rather than in a lab. I had the embryo transfer put back on day 3. The only thing I would say was I felt very bloated. You can easily get this confused with the medication that you take, because you are given a trigger shot before your egg collection a few days before, and that trigger shot, it actually fools your body into thinking that you are pregnant. So it prepares your body to have your embryo implant into you. So obviously that trigger shot made me feel like pregnant. So I was bloated, and I did continue throughout the rest of the 2-week wait to feel bloated. So day 3 I was bloated. Day 4, the only sign and symptom that I felt again was feeling bloated. I didn't have any food cravings or anything like that, or I didn't even feel overly hungry, because some girls say that they felt really like they wanted to be munching on things, but I never felt anything like that. I started to get really sore boobs. You can tolerate it. It's not so sore it's like, ow, I need to take painkillers. They're just really tender. And, you know, like, if it is your time of the month, only just that little bit worse, because they just swell massively. So the bloatedness and the sore boobs, they continued all the way through. Every day I woke up with that. When I got to about day 6, I was feeling like cramping. So it wasn't cramping like a period pain cramping. It was almost like just twinging. When you say cramping, you can get really confused with the different types of cramping. You've got like period pain crampings, and period pain cramping is very crippling. And then you have like cramping like just twinging, just slight nipping kind of thing. And that's what I was feeling. So these 3 things continued. So I was getting sore boobs every day. I was bloated throughout, and then I started getting this cramping, and this cramping was coming sporadically each day. So it'd be on and off all day, but it would be quite sporadic. And from looking at other people's videos, the only thing I was missing was the implantation bleed, which I thought, oh no, if I don't have that, that means it's not implanted. Although when I fell pregnant with Holly, my first child, I never had a bleed either. That was a natural pregnancy, but I never had that bleed. So I don't know why I was looking out for it. I think it's because I'd read everybody else's blogs and saw that that is what was supposed to happen. So it's quite crazy that 16 years later, you still find you're looking at other people's experiences when you've actually had it yourself anyway. So it is quite bizarre. Obviously, day 7 and 8, the same symptoms, nothing different. And then on day 9, by the evening, I had very much like anxiety. I mean, I suffer with anxiety anyway. It's just a waiting game. And when you're waiting 2 weeks for something, it is torture. Every single day you're sat there and you're just thinking, will it work? Will it not work? Will it work? Will it not work? I think it'll work. I think it will work. Google, 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 like checking everything. It must work because this girl had that symptom. This girl had that symptom. I'm having those symptoms. It's got to work. It must work. But then what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What will we do? What then? I've got to go through it all again. All the injections, everything. And this is all going through your brain, which is completely disturbing for the whole 2 weeks. And I just become really restless. Tim seemed to handle it a lot better than me. I don't know if it's because it's not necessarily his body, or maybe it's because like men are a little bit more chilled out than girls. I think they are, you know. I think they are. I think girls panic that little bit more. I'm like the worst person for panicking. I was really stressed about the fact that I had not had this implantation bleed. So this is another reason I recommend, you know, don't take these vlogs a little bit too seriously by comparing yourself, because it's not healthy in that respect. So take a little bit of insight by all means, but don't pin all your hopes on everybody else's experiences being the same as yours. And then I thought, this is it. I've had enough of this Googling. I've got to try and sleep. I need my rest for this to work. So I went to the loo before I went back into bed, and it was there that I saw a pink spotting. Only very, very, very tiny. That's got to be the implantation. Although I did feel like maybe day 9 might be a little bit too late for it. But sometimes, you know, it can happen that little bit later. It's not the same as everybody else's. And I was like, thank you, God. There it is. That's the sign I've been waiting for, that all these other women have that are successful. And then by day 10, obviously no more spotting, the same symptoms applied, the sore boobs, the bloating, you know, and that was about it, and the minor cramping. And then on day 12, I started getting like an old colour of blood. I thought maybe this is like from the implantation bleed, and maybe obviously it's just coming out a little bit later. So I thought it might be that. By day 13, by the afternoon, I started getting more like blood, but it wasn't like a red blood, it was like a pinker blood, which made me also feel like it might have been the aftermath of the implantation, because they do say that it can be pink or a brown colour. So obviously those two colourings can either be really fresh blood or old blood, but the cramping was getting a little bit more or less like nippy cramping and more towards period cramping. Day 14 was test day, but when I woke up on day 14, I was having what felt like period pains. I had kind of lost a bit of hope by then, because I know that period pain feeling, and I thought, this isn't good, this is not a good sign. As I went to do the test, Aunt Flo had made an arrival. When the test came through, there was no line whatsoever, and it was completely clear that there was no positiveness there at all. Even if you held it up to the light or anything, there was just nothing. But obviously, if you want to know a little bit more about the aftermath of that, you can look back on my old IVF video, because me and Tim did talk a little bit about our emotions on there. And obviously we then did it all over again with IVF number 2. And the funny thing is, I don't have many notes for the 2-week wait for IVF number 2. So I had the egg collection on day 1. Day 2, we had 5 fertilised, and obviously we had to wait and see till day 5, because we had more than 2 to see which ones were strong enough to go back in. And fortunately for me and Tim, we had by day 5 we had 2 really strong top graded embryos, which is fantastic, because you know, me and Tim can connect, which was pretty amazing. So that was day 5. We decided that we were going to have just 1 put back in, because obviously we went for 2 on the last one, is because on a day 5 they've appeared to be a bit stronger. But the doctor did also say you've got a better chance on a day 5 with 1 embryo. So we were like, okay, we're going to go for that. And then we're going to put his twin on ice, which we have done, which is pretty mental. So we went for the 1, and I felt really good. I don't know what it was. It was almost like there was a little bit of the dark cloud had lifted, and there was something inside that felt a little bit more confident this time. And I think it might be even because I had more embryos fighting to survive, and I'd also got like the day 5 transfer. And when I had the embryo put back into me, I remember the doctor who was putting it in say to me, good luck. And she nodded as if to say, you've got a good chance. And that gave me a little bit of encouragement, and that made me feel a little bit more hopeful. And that was quite nice. I mean, she didn't outrightly say anything, but the way she sort of like give me that nod was almost like, they're looking strong, they're looking good. We made it to this day 5, and yes, I'd got bloating again, of course. And again, sore boobs. And this continued for throughout, to be honest with you, bloatedness and sore boobs. But the one thing I was missing is I didn't have any cramping whatsoever. But I thought, you know, I had that last time. I haven't had it this time. Why should I panic about that? Because it didn't mean anything last time. So I was just having like chill out days, if you like, and just de-stressing. And like me and Tim were going for like a decaf coffee. And yeah, just kind of taking it easy. I think one day we tried to row a boat. That was a waste of time because neither of us could row it. So that was pointless. You can actually see that vlog on Tim's actually, by the way. Walk with me, Tim, you'll see that. That's quite a classic. Day 10 came. And then I said to myself, I'm going to do a pregnancy test. Just one of them really cheapy ones. I'd bought plenty anyway. I bought some digital tests as well. So my digital ones I was going to save, especially for testing day. And day 10, I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use one of my cheap pound shop ones. The IVF clinics say, do not test before day 14. But I did that last time. And I think that the heartache that I felt when it didn't work was so painful that I kind of felt like I had to do this for myself to prep myself, because I thought the less time I'm building my hopes up is the better for me mentally. The less time I had to wait for me was the better. So I done this cheap test and held it up to the window, and I could see the very, very faintest line, which to me was like seeing that golden ticket, like, you know, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, where he opens up his chocolate bar and he sees a speck of gold. That's what it felt like to me. It's the only way to describe it. And then day 11, I did another cheap test, and the line was there, and it was just that little touch clearer. But again, sore boobs, bloatedness, only symptoms, the only ones. No implantation bleed. No implantation bleed as of yet. Day 12, I did another test, and it was clearer, and I thought, I am pregnant. I definitely am. I can see that line. I can see it. And then day 13 we tested as well. And we got to day 14. Bear in mind, day 13, the test was pretty clear, I would say. It was pretty obvious there was a line. I think it was, as you can see, here's my little box of tests. It could give you a little bit of a rough idea so you could see sort of how faint this line was. Obviously, they're all a little bit faded now. It was a little something like this. I don't know if you can see because of the... Yeah, it's quite clear. So on day 14, I felt quite optimistic. We decided we were going to do a digital one. That would be the big wow, because it isn't just a line that we're trying to decipher. Is it a line? Is it not a line? It will just say it. It will just say pregnant. So we've done this digital test and boom, there it was, pregnant, which was absolutely amazing. And it was there. For our reactions, you can also look back on my old IVF video that I did a couple of weeks ago. But the motto of this vlog is just to let you guys know that from my second time round, my symptoms were sore boobs and bloating, which you get with the trigger injection shot anyway. I had no implantation bleed, which I didn't when I conceived Holly either. And I had no cramping. No cramping at all. So really, I didn't have any signs whatsoever. All I did was have the signs for like trigger injection, which is natural. It's getting your like body prepared. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had. And I just had to sort of relax and just go with it. For anybody out there that's, if they're having IVF and they're in the middle of their 2-week wait and they're Googling things and they're looking for answers, just remember what other people feel is not necessarily what you feel, because what I Googled and watched, I was expecting, and that did not happen to me, and it worked. So that is my advice to anybody who was on their 2-week wait. And I felt that this video was really important to do because it's good insight. What people are telling you they're feeling maybe is not what you're going to feel. So therefore, that should give you a little bit more hope too if you're not having the same symptoms. So yeah, that was my 2-week wait. And anybody that's going through IVF, my heart goes out to you. It is one of the most difficult roller coasters. Trying for a baby in general is so hard, and then having to go through IVF on top of the heartache of trying to conceive naturally, that's a roller coaster in itself anyway. So my heart goes out to anybody that's trying to conceive. I wish them all the best of luck. I think anybody that is going through this and fighting tooth and nail to get the child that they're dreaming of. So people that are going through these struggles and they really want it, really do deserve it. So I wish you all the best of luck. And thank you everybody for watching this video. I really appreciate your support. I am going to do some more vlogs. I'm going to do vlogs on things like baby outfits that I've bought, which I have bought now, but I'm just waiting to add a few more bits to the collection and I'm going to upload them. So I've got a few vlogs up my sleeve, so I'm going to continue with some of the baby vlogs and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Also, I do singing vlogs and I do normal vlogs and I do shopping hauls as well. So if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for some more vlogs. And if you have enjoyed this, or you've found this useful, or just if it's bringing you a little bit of comfort, please give it a thumbs up. I do hope that this helps people out there. Take care of yourselves. Lots of love. Bye-bye. See you soon.